All right, Kenny, this is a segment. Normally we do it with Dale every week. It's called Ask Junior, but obviously we got to change it up because there's someone new sitting in this chair right here. So it's time for Ask Kenny.
Okay.
We got some questions for you. Should we start with this first bullet point?
I think we should.
This is a good one. So this was one of our favorite questions we asked Dale. I think it was last year in the download. Best first date advice.
Wow. I know this is going to sound crazy. Make sure you brush your teeth and your breath smells really good. Okay?
It's a mouthwash.
Make sure you
buy
got
her a toothbrush.
great hygiene.
Buy her toothbrush.
Start out right. Pay for everything. Don't do this new thing where everybody separates. I'm old school. Pay for everything and compliment her. You look nice. Pay the bill. Just be right. Also you gotta read her too. Some of these girls like bad boys. But that's my advice.
And what is it, like dinner or an activity or
Stay with what you can afford. Be you. Don't
Stay
set
with what you
don't set a precedent that you can't keep up. Like I think I took my girl to Ponderosa.
There you go.
The chocolate fountain, It's like, honey, we middle class. I love you. You look nice. Give her a nice little kiss. No tongue. Not right away.
Not on the first date.
Not on the first date.
That's a second date activity.
Right. All right.
hit us with the next one, Dalton?
All right, Kenny. We also asked Dale one of these, and it sparked a insane conversation. But what is your phone background?
Oh, well, I'm gonna look good on this one. How do I find my picture? How do I do that? Because my phone background, it's hard to see. Hold on, no, let me do this. There it is. That's my phone background.
Oh, there you go.
That is my last NASCAR race in 2015 at Iowa. And look how much my wife loves me.
Oh.
I was like, baby, this is it. This is the last time I'm getting into a NASCAR race car. And she looks so good. She had her hair. My middle daughter, Brandy, is cosmetologist, and she had her hair up in a really neat ponytail. So yeah, that's my phone background.
It's a beautiful picture, Kenny.
That's really cool.
That's awesome.
Is that the phone for your lock screen too? Like it's the same background?
Yeah, my stuff's all the same.
That's
I don't
cool.
even know how to. It's
How to
funny.
change it?
Everybody goes, man, you're really good on social media. I'm like, no, I'm not. That's all I know how to do.
Oh man. Well, I've got one, and on the heels of Talladega, you were a major role in the 1997 Dale Earnhardt pass coming from the back. You pushed him 2000. I'm sorry. Yes. His that great race that we all remember.
Yep.
What do you remember from that? Well, just take us through it.
Yeah. I remember Jimmy Elledge was my crew chief. I remember he called for 2 tires, and the pit stop went really bad. And he said, damn it, just give me 4 tires. And I had it up in first gear. And when I pulled off pit road, I thought, I'm the last car on pit road. I looked in my mirror, and I seen Dale Sr. with those big old bubble goggles. And I keyed the button right away. I said, what is Senior? What's he doing behind me? They said, oh, he had a bad pit stop too. 10 laps to go. And I remember my car was fast. That was, when I drove for Andy Petrie, they had fast cars. I was Kenny Schrader's teammate. And, man, I got halfway through the field. I was slicing and dicing on my own. And I got picked going into turn 1. Senior gets by me. And, of course, you all seen this, one of the most famous pieces of footage. The man in black was wearing white gloves that day. He put that big old paw up there, and he's like, help me, Herman, help me. I'm like, no problem. And in that millisecond, I'm thinking, Dale Sr. gave me my very first NASCAR ride. I drove the number 8 GM Goodrich Chevrolet at Martinsville. And I'm thinking, I'm going to pay him back. But I didn't think we'd win. And we went through the tri-oval, and we came up on John Andretti in the 43 Richard Petty car. And John Andretti's car just floated. It like went out of the way. Later on, I asked Senior, I said, how did we get by him? And Senior shrugged his shoulders. He goes, you're automatically loose when you go through the tri-oval at Talladega. You're turning left. You got to turn left. And I guess we just made John Andretti loose. And that was it. It opened the door up. And what I remember is the white flag in the air. I remember Junior and Skinner going at it on the bottom lane. Junior about wrecking. And at that very moment, that was the moment I had to run. And I'm like, I'm going to pass him. I'm going to go for it. And I don't know. I have never really roughed myself up over it. But I looked in the mirror and I'm like, who is that behind me? I don't recognize that car right behind me. And I'm thinking, they won't go with me. And I'll be the idiot. I'll be the first driver to pull out and try to pass Dale Sr. Nobody will go with me, and I'll finish 30th. When the race was over, I realized it was my own teammate, Joe Nemechek, with a new paint job. And I didn't reckon. It was usually blue and white, Oakwood Mobile Home. And he had a Jack Daniels paint scheme on. So we go on down the back straightaway, and Senior starts moving. And I tried to follow him. Later on, Senior sat me down, and he said, next time that happens, I'm going to give you, Senior said, I'm going to tell you what to do. Don't try to follow me. Because I thought, my God, he's so damn smart. And it was nice of him to tell me that next time that happens, don't zigzag with me, just stay straight. And we come around and, and listen, I'll admit it. Jokingly, it was the most famous second-place finish in history. Jokingly, but sadly, I'll take it, and I'll brag on it for the rest of my life, and here's why. That was the last win of his life. People still taunt me a little bit to this day. They want to shame me. Anybody could have done that. You was on Senior's coattails. So, it's like Junior says. Anything you do with an Earnhardt, fans are going to jump your ass that you're on their coattails. I couldn't help it. I was running second. And that's where we were. But what made it incredible is it was dead last. I don't want to hear it was 17th. There was nobody behind us. People are like, you came from 18th. I'm like, look, pal, there was nobody behind us. I call that last. So we came from last, and obviously, I got halfway through there. And then when Senior went like that, I'm like, you got it. That was my take.
That's beautiful.
Man,
gosh,
that is really cool.
That's awesome.
Just hearing your perspective on that. Let's see. Do you remember who won your first race, your first Cup race?
I do, I think.
Okay.
Hold on.
It was that. Do you want to hint
where
it was?
I know where it was. It was Wilkesboro.
Yeah.
Davey Allison wrecked me by mistake. I don't know who won that race. Oh, hold on. Yes, I do. Brett Bodine.
Brett Bodine.
Wow.
Yep.
The only reason I know it is because, once again, I'm controversial. I think I brought out the caution that created all the confusion. But I'm like, no, Davey Allison hit me in the ass. Not my fault, bub. Whenever you want to be a smart ass, you say bub or pal.
Mm-hmm. Bub. That really, really irks me.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Todd Gordon, I made him his first crew chief job too. And he kept calling me Bub. And I said, you call me Bub one more time. Quit calling me Bub.
Yeah.
But come to find out, Bub is like, I guess it's okay. But
it's an okay thing.
It's like, you don't know my name? I'm Kenny.
Exactly. Right. Yeah.
I'm Kenny, not Bub.
Sport.
Sport. Yeah.
Hey, Sport.
Yeah.
Like you're a child.
Do you remember where you finished?
I don't. I know I wrecked like hell.
26.
Damn it. I ran good. I was running good in that race. Running really good. And Davey claims his brakes went out, which I'm sure they did. I mean, he pile drove me. Because, Wilkesboro, you're going downhill into one. I mean, I was spun out and didn't know it. I was like, yep.
What a way to start.
What is the most cherished item of memorabilia you have from your career?
Wow. That's deep.
Mm-hmm. Deep cuts here.
I have a lot. But they say go with your first instinct. It's just a simple everyday trophy from my very first Xfinity win at Volusia. Volusia is very sentimental to me. It was my first win, and I remember in Victory Lane looking at my wife and giving her a hug, and I said, it's finally over, because I was so worried that I would not win. And I won in my third year at Volusia when it was asphalt. And then years later, I went back there, and I'm like, they did what with Volusia? They put dirt on it. And I won my very first time back on dirt.
That's awesome.
So, I'm listening. I got a lot of really cool stuff. But they always say go with your first instinct. And it's just a trophy. Nothing special to it, but it was a big deal for me.
It's amazing.
Last question here. Is there any race that you lost that you've replayed in your mind that you know you could have won?
Oh, God. All day long. It was, there's two of them. I'm going to go with the Cup race first. Okay, we're at Loudon. Jimmy Elledge is my crew chief. Or no, maybe it wasn't Jimmy. Maybe it was Newt Moore. I can't remember. It was a gas mileage race. And here I come. I'm going to win this race. And if you look at it, I finished second to Jeff Burton. And I lost by 50 yards. But what happened, I was going to the inside of Mike Skinner to pass him. And he chopped me, whether he meant to or not. And he chopped me so bad at that time, the apron was the apron. And I get down on the apron, and I'm getting ready to spin out, and I bang into his door, and we go all the way to the wall. And the caution never fell, which it shouldn't have, and I lost that Cup race by maybe 25 yards, 20 yards to Jeff Burton. That one right there. Because, see, I never won a Cup race. It bothers me, and I had 3 second-place finishes, run second. When Steve Park got hurt, we jumped in the Pennzoil car, set quick time in the Pennzoil car, and Joe Nemechek, once again, Andy Petrie, they short pit. They win the race. Here I'm coming, but I run second. And then the third one would have been my first Busch Grand National win at Nashville Fairgrounds. I almost put the field down a lap. That's how good I was. In 1989, my first year. I mean, we're doing it. Come in for the pit stop, and the jackman dropped it off the jack.
Oh.
And I run third. Yeah.
Man, that's tough when you know you had the car.
Oh. And listen, sometimes I condemn myself hoping it makes people feel better. I never won a Cup race. But I should have. I'm not sour about it, but damn it. Damn it, man. That Pennzoil deal, that Pennzoil. See, every time, what was there a saying? They called me Super Sub for you kids. My nickname was the Super Sub. Never good enough to get the big ride, but every time one of those guys got hurt, I kicked ass. When Ernie Irvin got hurt, fifth at Martinsville or whatever, when Steve Park got hurt, quick time. I mean, it was really a strange phenomenon where every time somebody got hurt, I hauled ass in their car. that inevitably, that is the real reason my career went to 905 NASCAR races, because I showed up. It was sad, I'm embarrassed, but when they got hurt, I hauled ass in their car.
Dale Jr.'s not hurt, but you have been the Super Sub this week on Ask Kenny, and I will say you kicked ass.
I had a lot of practice at being nervous. You know what I mean? And I came through. For me, I still think I can do way better. But I did all I could do.
Well, just going to have to see with the new show.
Yep.
Kenny and Kenny, maybe. That's straight up.
Maybe.
We'll be waiting for the fans.
Maybe's in the
wait. Mike Davis and his team, and Dale Jr. Dale Jr. He's a great artist. So Dale Jr. is famous for all the designing cars, and Mike Davis. You guys got Actions Detrimental. The tear down, all that. So I'm interested to see what you all come up with.